was unanimous across the board, like 98, 99%, let's say, let's leave some wiggle room,
Yeah.
that everybody who studies this for a living, and ancient Near Eastern cosmology, agrees. I pulled up some articles by a guy named Paul Seeley. He wrote a 2-part series about the waters above the firmament back in 91. And
Okay.
Paul Seeley he was a graduate of Westminster Theological Seminary. He spent 20 years studying Genesis 1 through 11.
Wow.
He came to this understanding. This is his understanding of cosmology in the Bible. This, I think, was the most profound statement in his part 1. Quote, there is not a single piece of evidence in the Old Testament to support the conservative belief that the Rakia was not solid. Going on down, the historical grammatical meaning of Rakia in Genesis 1:6-8 is very clearly a literally solid firmament. Manfred Gorg, I believe he put this entry in. He states here in Theological Dictionary of the Old Testament, quote, Rakia denotes a stable, solid entity situated above the earth, which protects the living world from an influx of the waters of chaos. The noun bears the connotation compact, firm, so that translations, catch this, so that translations such as expanse miss the mark. This is the heavy hitter. This is what all, the big guys in seminary are using, the Theological Dictionary of the Old Testament. A guy named John R. Roberts, who I tried to get on my YouTube channel, he said he doesn't do video interviews, but you can pull up all of his articles that have been in biblical journals on cosmology. I'm working through one. I have it right now. It's a 36-page article. Hopefully people can see it, but it's about the miracles in the Old Testament that demonstrate an ancient cosmology.
Cool.
He talks about the manna from heaven, Exodus 24, where Yahweh is standing on the sapphire stone. He's an ancient Near Eastern scholar that studies this and says, yes, this is what the Hebrews believe. This is what the Bible teaches. This is what the Bible verses mean, but we can't go with it. And you scratch your head, you wonder, how can scholars do that? But see, I ran across this years ago with the name Yahweh. Every single Bible dictionary or scholar that you pull up, they'll acknowledge the Creator's name, his divine name, Yahweh, but they won't use it. They'll go to church. They won't push that it gets used in songs when they sing or when a preacher preaches from the pulpit, because for whatever reason, it's just not important to them, but they'll acknowledge the truth of what Scripture teaches. And that's what I found here with cosmology. Across the board, they're acknowledging the truth. Every lexicon, every dictionary, every single one in my library that I have, and I have a pretty big library, said the exact same thing when it came to the firmament and the earth and Sheol and the waters above the heavens. They all admitted this is what the Bible teaches. Everybody should want to believe this, but we get excited about truths and then we try to present them with people, and people are it's just not their time, or they're not ready, or they're too married to the heliocentric globe model, or they want to put their faith in what science claims and their faith in man. And I'm not comfortable with doing that. I was thinking today about Numbers 14.
Okay.
Where the 12 spies were sent into the land of Canaan to spy out the land. And, 10 of the spies came back scared to death. They said, there's giants in the land. We can't take these guys. But, Joshua and Caleb, they had a different spirit, and they said, we can do it. Well, the 10 spies came back doubting because what Yahweh had promised didn't seem feasible. It didn't seem tangible to them. We can't defeat these giants. So there's no way that we're going to try to take this land. And I think that's what people are doing when they're not believing the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
They're believing what man tells them, or somebody says, well, I've got this picture or this video showing this or this or that. And they get their eyes off of the Bible. They start leaning on the arm of flesh. They're trusting in man. When Proverbs 3, 5, 6, and 7, I think it is, says, trust in Yahweh with all of your heart. Do not lean into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths.
Yeah.
And then be not wise in your own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Fear Yahweh and depart from evil. So if a million people are saying one thing and Yahweh is saying the other thing, you stick with what Yahweh says, like Joshua and Caleb did. They said, we believe Yahweh. We trust Yahweh. It may not seem feasible in the human mind when we look at these giants that we can defeat them, but Yahweh said it. We believe it, and that's all that matters.